be watching this at a different time. So you can respond however you want to. Okay, let's try that again. Greetings. There you go, that's better. My name is Erica Bowman. I am the president of the Unity of Mesa Board of Directors, and I'm your board member of the day today. So, this is a mask optional community. Also, if you could please check your phones to make sure that they are on silent or vibrate so they don't disturb us as we are in this sacred space. And then I think it's been a while. It's good to see everybody. Welcome. Thanks for coming.
Unity of Mesa is a loving, dynamic, spiritual community that's part of the unity movement that continues to help us remember the truth of who we are and expanding our consciousness and living from that truth. This morning we have Jose today as our vocalist and Marianne helping him. We also have Jen Crandall on piano. We have Chris in the back. We have Reverend Nickie, who's going to be delivering the lesson today. And we have Julie Treglone, our wife and director. And you already met Erica. So I invite you this morning to go ahead and take a moment. Just go ahead and pause. Just take a deep breath in as we step into a moment of prayer. Divine Spirit, we are so grateful for this beautiful, prosperous, loving community. As each one is here, knowing that it is a divine appointment, that they're always in the right place at the right time, continue to be the light that they are, collectively and individually. We are so grateful for the many blessings that come to us as a community and that we extend to others, our families, our friends, and to the greater community. We give thanks, and so it is, and so let it be. Amen.
And I want to share with you that Mindy is at Unity of the Sun Lakes. Some of you have asked about her. We are honored to be able to support other Unity ministers and ministries, and so we're supporting that one today. And isn't it beautiful that we can do that because of you guys? And I tell you, from the minister's perspective, it is a joy to be able to have another minister come and support us too. So it really is a give and receive and take. We have some wonderful announcements for you. Mary Ann is doing Creating Harmonious Relationships today at 12:15. Time right this time. I've been working on that all week. But come, I hear that it's been being absolutely delightful, so come and experience it.
And coming up in March 17th, we are going to have the annual picnic that's going to be at Countryside Park. Please be aware we're going to start passing out sign-up sheets next week, and if you would like to volunteer helping us set up and break down, please come and see me.
And we have Healing Night coming up on March 13th. We also have, before that, we have Gong Night this Wednesday night at 7 o'clock. I don't think that got on the slide. Oops. But that's another form of healing for us, is to come and participate in that.
And also, we have the women's ministry that's doing a clothing drive. You can go ahead and bring in men's clothing, women's clothing, children's clothing. We'll take it all. And if you, is Delane in? Yes, Delane, could you stand up? Delane is glad to lead that for us. So please see Delane if you have any questions.
And I want to circle back to Healing Night. Stephanie Loveland is leading this. She's the point person. I want you guys to be able to see who she is. Yes. So I'm going to invite you all now to stand as you're able, and let's have a good time singing, because when we sing together, we open our hearts together.
And dancing.
I sing my love, I sing my love, I sing my love into the world. I sing my love, I sing my love, I sing my love into the world. I sing my love, I sing my love, I sing my love into the world. I sing my love, I sing my love, I sing my love into the world. I dance my joy, I dance my joy, I dance my joy to the world. I dance my joy, I dance my joy, I dance my joy into the world. I dance my joy, I dance my joy, I dance my joy into the world. I dance my joy, I dance my joy, I dance my joy into the world. I live my peace, I live my peace, I live my peace into the world. I live my peace, I live my peace, I live my peace into the world. I live my peace, I live my peace, I live my peace into the world. I live my peace, I live my peace, I live my peace into the world. Oh, sorry.
Oh, well. Yay, great job. We'll just move that along to happy birthday. That's all right. We'll move that to happy birthday. If you have a birthday in the month of March, we invite you to stand up so that we can celebrate you. Yay. Happy birthday to you. There's no one like you, uniquely created. I love knowing you. I bless you with life and abundance galore. God bless you, my loved ones, and have many more. Oh, that's beautiful. And I'm going to invite you guys to notice who had a birthday and just bless them. And if you get the wrong person, that's okay, because you've blessed someone anyway. And what do we know about blessing? When we send our blessing out, it comes right back to us.
Hello, everyone. Come on up, Holland. It's time for our children's affirmation, and Miss Holland is going to lead us today.
I am a perfect and whole child of God. Say it with me. I am a perfect and whole child of God.
Amen. Thank you. And by the way, any child, any teen is welcome to lead us in the affirmation on any given Sunday. We love it when they do that. Uni kids, you have, bake sale? Bake sale was last Sunday, but I did want to say a huge thank you. What a success in every way. We had an abundance of donations from our congregation, from our youth, parents, and we are looking good in our YFM program to be able to do all that we want to do to bless our kids. So thank you so much for your contribution. Okay. Movie night coming up for our uni kids. That is Friday, March the 8th, which is this coming Friday. Be there at 6 o'clock. We should be done around 8, and we'll be providing pizza and popcorn. So let's go ahead and say a blessing for our young people before they go for their class this morning. Children, we love you, we bless you, we appreciate you, and we behold the Christ you are.
Made in the image of God, perfectly magnificent in every way, pure and innocent at birth, on earth to experience each day. Made in the image of God, to be divine expressions. Through the ups and downs of life, aiming for higher dimensions. Made in the image of God. The image, a powerful source, not just a word or feeling. It is the ultimate force. Made in the image of God, of unconditional love, so pure, an encompassing energy of life. Fundamentally, it is our core, made in the image of God.
I have often dreamed of a far-off place where a hero's welcome would be waiting for me, where the crowds will cheer when they see my face, and a voice keeps saying, this is where I'm meant to be. I'll be there someday. I can go the distance. I will find my way. If I can be strong, I know every mile will be worth my while. When I go to distance, it is right where I belong. Down an unknown road to embrace my fate. Though the road may wander, it would lead me to you. And 1,000 years would be worth the wait. It may take a lifetime, but somehow I'll see it through. And I won't look back. I can go the distance, and I'll stay on track. No, I won't accept defeat. It's an uphill slope, but I won't lose hope till I go to distance and my journey's complete. Ooh, yeah. But to look beyond the glory is the hardest part. But a hero's strength is measured by his heart. Like a shooting star, I will go to distance. I will search the world. I will face its harms. I don't care how far. I can go to distance to find my heroes. Welcome waiting your arms. I will search the world. I will face its harms till I find my heroes. Welcome waiting your arms.
and Jen Crandall. Jose and Jen just exemplified what I want to talk about today, the irresistible power of divine love. Couldn't you feel it as you listened to the words of the song and as the music that was accompanying it? Could you feel it? Yes. And what happened in your heart when you felt it? You felt full. Your heart opened up. What else happened? Joy. Yes, you know, Taylor Desjardins says that the infallible understanding of the presence of joy, and I'm paraphrasing, we know that the presence of God is in the room when there is joy. We know that. We know that the presence of God is in our lives when we feel joy. That's the irresistible power of divine love. The moment you feel joy. May Rowland was a unity minister. She was the head of Silent Unity for 55 years. She started in 1916 as the head of Silent Unity. She was brought in to support, I can hear that, my little sounds. She was brought in to support Myrtle and Charles Fillmore in that healing ministry. She was a year out of high school, and she came in to support Silent Unity. And one day, she was listening to a speaker, and the speaker said this phrase, "When your heart is filled with love, you will not be critical or irritable, but you will be divinely irresistible." Let's take a breath into that. That's a big statement. That is a big truth. When our hearts are filled with love, we won't be critical or irritable, but we will be divinely irresistible. So that gives us a key to when we're not in alignment. What do you think that key is? This is a test. What do you think that key is? When we are critical. When we are critical, what do we know then? It's a big old flag saying, hey, you're not being filled with divine love. Some of us need the Mack truck more than the flag, and sometimes that's me. You know, some of us just need that, and there's nothing wrong with that, and there's nothing wrong with the feeling of critical, but that feeling is simply a piece of information for us to pay attention to. When I'm irritable, that is a piece of information in my life to pay attention to. It's the universe saying, hey, Nickie, you're out of alignment. Hey, Nickie, you're out of alignment. And I'd rather get it from that feeling of irritability than get it from some person saying to me, hey, Nickie, you're irritable. Get over it. Snap out of it. Just get over it. There's nothing wrong with those feelings. We just don't want to live in them. We simply do not want to live in them. Dr. Joe Dispenza says that sometimes we have this feeling, and the feeling happens for a while and it becomes our mood. And sometimes we walk around in that mood for a long time. We walk around in that mood for a long time. And then eventually what will happen is we begin to develop this belief system that we are moody, and other people do too. They say, oh, she's moody. Watch out for her. Better get her in a good mood. You know that, right? I'm not telling you anything you don't know. And then from that moodiness and that belief system, eventually we come into being in a habit. And if the habit lasts long enough, we'll just say, well, you know, that's just my personality. I'm just a moody Judy. No offense to any Judy that's in here. That's actually a children's book. It's a funny children's book. If you haven't read it, get a chance to read it. So eventually people are going to reflect that back to us. Is that what you want to have reflected back? No, me either. You know, I like the days that I can fly through them and float through them. And at the end of the day, I can go, wow, you know, this was a good day. Nobody honked at me. Nobody criticized anything around me. Nobody said angry words toward me or toward anybody else. Those are really great days, aren't they? Those are days that I want more of, and I have quite a few of them, and I want more and more. But I have to remember that I am the key. When my heart is filled with love, I'm not going to be critical. I'm not going to be irritable. I'm going to be irresistible. But the other piece is I'm going to draw to me people who are also irresistible. May Rowland, when she would come into work and sit down at her desk, there's stories in a book by Neil Valley that talks about the history of unity. She would come in and she'd sit at her desk, and there were several workers who would pull their desk around and pull their chairs so that as they prayed with others, because that's what silent unity does, as they prayed with others, they could see her. They could look at her. Because what Neil Valley writes is that she had this irresistible glow around her. Her auric field was showing. Her biofield was showing. It was radiating forth from her. Those are the kind of people I like to be around. How about you? Yeah, those are the people. What happens is that when we start being irritable, when we start complaining, when we start grouching, then what ends up happening is we dim that glow. My oldest brother, his name is Jim Golden. He put on Facebook, and since it's on Facebook, I'm going to say this, and he may or may not be watching, who knows. But he put this new picture of himself up on Facebook this week. And it's a really delightful picture of my brother Jim. He has a twinkle in his eye. He's a little bit mischievous anyway. And somebody wrote something about, why'd you put up a new picture? And he said, because I'm trying to get a picture that's not grumpy. So somebody has told him he's grumpy. And there's 50, or at least the last time I looked at that picture, there were 50 comments about him, about not being grumpy, because he's rarely grumpy that I experience anyway. And so it was really neat. So he was able to just say, I've gotten some feedback that I'm grumpy. I'm making a different choice, and so I'm putting my picture out here. So if you guys are on Facebook, go look at Jim Golden's picture. He's a pretty handsome guy. And I am very biased, so in case you wondered that. So how we feel inside shows up on the outside of us. We don't always think about it, but can't you kind of judge somebody's mood from how they're walking toward you? Yeah, our facial expression. One time I was sitting in a hotel room. I was working on something. I was very serious about it. And I looked up, and you know how in hotel rooms in front of the desk, there's usually a mirror? I looked in the mirror, and I actually scared myself because I looked so intense. I looked grumpy. I looked very intense because I was very intensely working. And so that intenseness just radiates out. So when our hearts are filled with love, when we're tuning into our love, that's what we're radiating out. So let's practice. Tune into your heart. You know, in prayer hands, you know how often you see prayer hands and people bring them to their chest. Well, people bring their prayer hands to their chest so that their thumbs touch this heart center, so it opens up. The minute we touch it, for those of us who are kinesthetic, it supports our heart in opening up. And when our hearts open, we see the world differently. Put your hands here. Take two or three deep breaths. Yeah, and then look around the room. How do people look? I think you guys are radiant beings of light. I think you look beautiful. But you start laughing, right? It's a little bit uncomfortable. It can be a little, if you're shy particularly, you could sort of like do it. I'm shy, so I know that. And you guys might laugh, but I have to be up here and not be shy. So this is a really good job for me to expand my awareness and consciousness. May Rowland says, love is an inherent power that if allowed to be expressed in one's life will transform every inharmony. Every inharmony. It will transmute every negative condition into a part of the harmonious whole. That's all we have to do. All we have to do is come home to ourselves, to our divine nature, to that spark of God that hopefully is a big old bonfire of God that's within our hearts, and remember who we are. Say it with me. I am love. I'm irresistible divine love. And I radiate love. And let's do it another time. Think of somebody. Oh, wait, let's don't think of somebody else. We so often put our ideas outside of ourselves. Think about yourself for a moment. Think about yourself. And say to yourself, I bless myself with love. I see the peace and goodness of God being expressed as I am. The I am is the presence of God within you, and the I am is your expression of God as the I am. The awareness of who you are. Okay, listen as I bless you. I bless you with love. Each and every one of you individually, I bless with love. I bless you with love. I see the peace. I see the goodness of God being expressed as you. And take that in. Take that in as much as you can. In the 5th chapter of the Gospel of John, the writer of John tells the story of Jesus. It's a festival in Jerusalem, and Jesus and many of his disciples are going to the festival. So Jesus and his disciples are walking toward the synagogue, the temple. Jesus didn't go to church, you guys. Jesus went to temple. He's walking toward the temple, and he comes up on what's called the Sheep's Gate. And at that particular gate, there's a pond, and at that pond, it's called Bethesda, the Bethesda pond. Some of you may know this story, and some of you may not. So as Jesus is walking up to this pond, and there are 5 different sort of porches at this particular gate in this synagogue, and on those porches are different people who are seeking healing. Some are crippled, some are blind. Who knows? Some are just seeking healing from whatever. And as Jesus is walking through, he looks down at a man who's on a mat, and he says to him, do you want to get well? So before I go on, I want you to ask yourself that question. Do I want to be radiant health? And listen to the answer that comes forth from you. Whatever it is okay. And the man looks at Jesus, and the man says, oh, I can't get there. Everybody gets to the pond before me. Because the idea of this pond is that as John puts it, the angel of the Lord comes down. Remember, Lord is the I am presence. So God somehow energetically reaches forth and agitates the water of the pond. And the moment you step into it, when the waters are being agitated, according to this writer, then healing occurs. And so the man says, I just can't get there, and nobody will take me down to the pond. And I want you to remember that. I can't get there because no one is doing it for me. And Jesus says, pick up your mat and walk. What would you do? We're faced with Jesus every day because Jesus, the embodiment of God, Jesus says the Father and I are one, or God and I are one. We're faced with that every day. Are you willing to pick up your mat and walk through whatever is going on in your life, being that radiant presence of God? So the man gets up and he rolls his mat up and he dances off. Can you imagine, after 38 years of not being able to walk, how delightful, how exciting. So he goes dancing into the temple. And who does he run into? Some Jewish leaders. And the Jewish leaders say to this man, why are you carrying your mat? It's the Sabbath. Why do you have your mat? It's against the law to have the mat on the Sabbath. So here's this guy. He's really excited. He's walking for the first time in 38 years. And what does somebody say to him? You're breaking the rules. You're breaking the rules. This is really an important story in many, many ways. And the one I want to focus on today is, where does our attention go? Where did Jesus' attention go? Jesus' attention, as he's walking past these 5 different porches, falls on this one man. And he sees beyond being crippled. He sees the wholeness. He sees the potentiality. He sees the authenticity. He sees the divinity in that man. And he asks, do you want to be well? And the man says, an excuse? But we all do that. But did Jesus take that excuse? No, he didn't. He listened beyond the words of, nobody will take me down there. Nobody will do it for me. And he says to the man, pick up your mat and walk. The man himself is giving excuses. If you remember Lily's talk from last week, he's in that victim consciousness. And we all get into victim consciousness. The trick is not to stay there. It's to get out. We want to go from to me to the world is happening by me to the world is flowing through me till I am it, which we call in unity verity consciousness. I am it. I am the healer within me, and I am the healer within me because I have the Spirit and the presence of God within me in every moment. Metaphysically, that pool means that there is always healing light and healing presence around us. But are we willing to say, yes, I want to be whole? Because we can translate wellness to wholeness. Yes, I want to be whole. Yes, I'm willing to pick my mat up and not tell 60 people about why I am laying on the mat, but to keep my focus on the fact that I pick my mat up. And then, if you think about it, the focus of the Jewish rulers were simply that this person is breaking the rules. Well, we're going to run into the critic, because they're simply the critic in our life. We're going to run into the critic. Somebody's going to tell you why you shouldn't be doing it, you can't do it, it's really ridiculous that you did it. And then they're going to put you down for having done it. Somebody's going to do that, because they are over here in victim consciousness. And if you allow that to stop you, that's on you. And that's not good, bad, right, wrong. It simply is. But you're hiding your light. And when you're ready, and it happens for all of us, when we're ready, we stop hiding our light. It might just peek out a little bit and say, hello, or it might just burst out and shine like crazy. And then people have to, put their sunglasses on around us. And we become that glow that May Rowland was, that people want to be with us in that way. Because each of us have that presence and power, that irresistible presence and power of love within us. Now, Jesus circled back around to that man who's now walking and leaping and probably praising. He didn't really know who had healed him, according to the gospel writer of John. And Jesus finds him in the crowds, and he says, how you doing? And then he says, I want you to go and sin no more. Because, and this is what Jesus said to him according to John, if you continue to sin, much worse things will happen to you. What can we learn from that? Sin is simply missing the mark. Sin is that moment that we think that we're separate from our true nature, which is divine. Sin is when we feel separate from God. And when we feel separate from God, of course we're going to be irritable because we're not in our true nature. Of course we're going to be critical. Just use those states. Anxiety, depression, hurt, anger. They're not wrong. They're part of our beingness as human. But notice, use them as the flag that they are to say, hey, I got something that's worth healing here because I'm irritated. Oh, I'm so irritated. Oh, look, I need some healing. And so what can I do? I can move into my breath. I can bless. I bless myself with love, and I see the peace and goodness of God that's already within me and is being expressed as me. I can bless myself. Bless the person or the event that I am irritated, or the situation that I am irritated with. We have choice. And that choice comes from that very simple question that Jesus asked. Do you want to be well? Do I want to be the irresistible presence of divine love? Do I want to glow with the radiant power that's already within me? My powers of life, my powers of love, my powers of wisdom, my powers of spiritual strength. Do I want to? We get to answer that question every moment of every day. So my invitation to you is for the next 30 days, take a picture of this if you need to. And use this. I bless you with love. I see the peace and goodness of God being expressed as you. Say it to yourself in the mirror. Say it to anything that irritates you. Say it comes back to us. That energy of blessing comes back to us. And then as you do this, notice how your life is transforming. I promise you, I will be doing this with you if you're choosing to do this, because this is one of the wonderful tools in each of our spiritual toolboxes to simply be able to give forth a blessing. And if you're feeling shy, you can just say it in your own heart, and you can say it quietly, and you can say it with silence. Or if you feel like you want to step outside your comfort zone, which I try to do daily, say it to somebody. And you might say it to somebody in the grocery store. You don't have to do the whole thing, but you can just be walking by somebody, and you can either silently say, I bless you with love, or you can verbally say, I bless you with love. You know how when people say, welcome in here in Arizona, say, thank you, I bless you with love. And watch what happens. And if you're standing in front of the irritable clerk, sometimes it happens. I mean, if I were on my feet 9 hours a day, I might be a bit irritable too. But if you're standing in front of that irritable clerk and they're irritating you because you got some irritating emotion in you already, that energy, that of emotion, then say it to yourself and say it to them. And you can bless yourself silently, or you can bless them silently. It doesn't matter, because when the blessing is true, when the blessing is authentic, it's going to come out of you. It's going to be radiant, whether you speak the words or whether you hold the words in your heart. Let's do it with each other right now. Turn to somebody and say, I bless you with love. I see the peace and the goodness of God being expressed as you. I bless you with love. I see the peace and the goodness of God being expressed as you. Woo, that gives me God bumps, you guys. Gives me God bumps to hear it and feel the energy rising and to see the light that's coming into this room. Joe Dispenza, he's one of my favorite folks. Can you accept the notion that once you change your internal state, you don't need the external world to provide you with a reason to feel joy, gratitude, appreciation, or any other elevated emotion? When we have it within us, we don't need it from outside. But you know what the paradox is? We get it more. When we don't need it, we get it more. I had a mentor one time. I used to ask her to lunch every time I went to the meetings. You guys hear me talk about Katie Hendricks regularly. And I'd ask her for lunch, and I would go to lunch together. And then one day somebody said to me, how come you get to go to lunch with Katie all the time? I said, because I asked. There we go. Because I asked. It was that simple. It was that simple. Ask. All we have to do is ask. If you need a hug, come and ask. Would you hug me? But when we know, and there's nothing wrong, because this is part of our oneness, is that when we are celebrating, when we are expressing our oneness with God, when we are expressing the love that we are, tons of love will come back to us, because it's the interchange, and only the interchange, that is going to make a difference. So, take a breath. Are you willing to change your life? And I'm going to say that because if you start using these affirmations, your life will change. If you're willing to change your life, let's say this together. I am the irresistible power of divine love, a radiant center of love. I focus on my heart, and I know I am love. And I know I am love. It's not enough to think it. We have to know it. We have to know it. It has to be here as well as here, but it has to be in every cell of our bodies too. And we do that in prayer. We do that in meditation, which we're going to, if Marianne and Lily will come, we're going to sing in just a moment. So take these thoughts. And even if I am a radiant center of love is all you take in, if I bless myself and others with love is all you take in, sit with that during our time of meditation as we sing together.
Flow, Spirit, flow through me as I open up to be an expression of your unfolding peace. Show, Spirit, show through me as I open up to be an expression of your unfolding love. Flow, Spirit, flow through me as I open up to be an expression of your unfolding peace. Show, Spirit, show through me as I open up to be an expression of your unfolding love.
Each and every one of us is an expression of the divine. I am a center of radiant love. Say that quietly with me. I am a center of radiant love. When you're in that moment where you feel you need love, come home first to yourself. I am a center of radiant love. And from that consciousness, reach out to another as the center of radiant love. The next time you're in a situation that feels unbearable, that triggers your irritation, your anger, your hurt, your sadness, I am a center of radiant love. This is where we might need to say it a bunch of times. I am a center of radiant love. You are a center of radiant love. You are a center of radiant love. We are a center of radiant love. We are where love flows as expression, flowing through us, as us. We are it. We are that place where love shows up in the world as we move through our day-to-day task, as we move through those things that are difficult and challenging for us. We are a center of radiant love. We are being asked, do you want to be well? The healing pool is always before us. Are we willing to pick up our mat and go forth no matter what anybody else says? Are we willing to pick up our mat and know beyond a shadow of a doubt that we are not separate from God? Are we willing to pick up our mat and know the truth of us? We are love. Love in expression. Take these thoughts to a moment of sacred and holy silence. Take a moment and smile at your heart center. Smile and let your heart smile back. And then bring that smile up into the top of your head, your crown center, maybe your pineal gland. It's in the center of your head and your crown center, so that you're connecting those inches, that space between your heart and your head. As we do this, the activity of our mind is embraced and infused with love, that consciousness of love that is healing, that consciousness of love that is harmonizing, that consciousness of love where peace lives within all of us, awaiting the opportunity for expression. And now begin to come back to this room and to this time and to this place. Coming back in a new way. Coming back in a new clarity of consciousness. You are a radiant center of love. And I want you to know, as we do our blessing today, our offertory blessing, that you will see that reflected in it. So we can't do it rote today. We're going to have to pay a little bit of attention to it. And let yourself be back in this room, in this time, in this place. And Erica is going to lead us.
Thank you for that, Reverend Nickie. Do you all feel the expansion of just energy and love in this space? I know from when I first stood on the stage this morning or an hour ago to now, your energy, the vibration, the love, I see it and I feel it, and I hope you do too. So right now is our time for giving, and there are many ways to give, and Unity of Mesa is a very abundant and grateful community. You all show up physically, financially, spiritually, emotionally for this community. And so there are many ways to give. You can give online by going to unityofmesa.org. You can use the Venko app. You can text the number that's right there. You can even mail. And you can also do a donation through the bookstore if you would like to use like your debit or your charge. And then also we're about to go through this very sacred process of doing it here together in person. And thank you, ushers, for being here. And so as Reverend Nickie said, it's a little bit different today. So pay attention and let's do it together. Divine love, through me, as me is me, blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, all that I receive, and my awareness of all that I am, and so it is. And we give thanks for each of you, each gift and each giver.
The power of love, it's a curious thing. Make a one man weep, make another man sing. Change a hawk to a little white dove. More than a feeling, that's the power of love. Tougher than diamonds, rich like cream. Stronger and harder than a bad girl's dream. Make a bad one good, make a wrong one right. Power of love that keep you home at night. You don't need money, don't take fame. Don't need a credit card to ride this train. It's tough and it's sudden, it can be cruel sometime, but it might just save your life. That's the power of love. That's the power of love. First time you feel it, it might make you sad. Next time you feel it, it might make you mad. But you'll be glad, baby, when you found that's the power that makes the world go round. And it don't take money, don't take fame, don't need a credit card to ride this train. It's strong and it's sudden, it can be cruel sometime, but it might just save your life. They say that all in love is fair, yeah, but you don't care. But you'll know what to do when it gets a hold of you. And with a little help from above, that's the power of love. You feel the power of love. Can you feel it? It don't take money, it don't take fame, don't need a credit card to ride this train. Tougher than diamond, stronger than steel, but you won't feel nothing till you feel the power. Just feel the power of, that's the power. That's the power of love. That's the power of love. That's the power of love.
Jim Crandall and Jose. I love serving a church that will get up and dance. I love it. And if you're sitting down, you're dancing in your seat. You know, chair dancing, that's great. Let's bless our offering. Together, we are one with the opulence of God. We are now in the flow of infinite abundance, and we give thanks for the prosperity that is ours by divine right. And so it is, and so we let that be. I want to thank Jen especially. What you guys don't know, but I know, is that at 10:30 last night, because Stefan is not feeling well, Jen was willing to step in and play. So let's give her our unity blessing. Jen, we love you. We bless you. We appreciate you. And we behold the Christ you are. Yay. And let's just take a moment and hold Stefan in prayer, knowing that he is perfect and whole, that he is simply expressing something that is moving forth from his body to allow that wholeness to come forth, to allow his radiant health to come forth, radiating through every single cell of his body. And so it is, and so we let that be. Amen. Thank you for your presence here today. Hospitality is outside. We have chaplains who are here. Yes, Sharon, John, Audrey, Delane. Thank you for your service. Let's bless them too while we're blessing people today. We bless you. We appreciate you. And we behold the Christ you are. Thank you for that. Thank you for your presence. Bless the birthday people. I bless you with love. That's all you have to say, or you can say more. Ask them what they want to engage in, to manifest, to bring forth this year. And allow them to know that you are holding space for that with them. Have the absolute best week ever. Yes. And we look forward to seeing you next week.
It don't take money, it don't take fame, don't need a credit card to ride this train. Tougher than diamonds and tougher than steel, but you won't feel nothing till you feel. You'll feel the power, just feel the power of, that's the power, but that's the power of love.